The refracted light from the police spinner splashes against the walls of the industrial buildings that loom over the dark alley. Several pools of water ripple slowly as vibration from some large machinery manifests itself in the water. Two cops with beams from their flashlights are peering into a large alley. Soon, one of them returns to the spinner, shaking and looking pale. He grabs the mic and calls in. The night is cold at 4 a.m, and even colder when the phone rings.
I don't know who this is, but do you know what time it is?
And you hear Holden's voice. It's 4 a.m. Two beat cops found something they don't know what to do with. Their whole department doesn't know what to do with it. The address? It's on your desk. Click.
And she will sigh and put down the phone. Alright. She will... Some annoyance that at least overtly dissipates rather quickly because there is nobody to witness it, so it is a bit of wasted effort. She will get ready and head into the precinct to find this address.
And the main room is quiet at 4 a.m. Cigarette smoke is just being pushed around by the ceiling fans, and there's a couple of detectives that are on call and quietly working through their paperwork. They nod at you, but ignore you other than that.
She'll nod back and head to her desk.
And there is a handwritten note.
She'll pick it up and looking around just to make sure there's really nothing else happening here. She feels it was a bit unnecessary to make her come all the way in and then leave. She will get into a spinner and make her way to the address.
The city at night is a rainbow of light, filling the upper levels with neon promises and broken dreams. Slowly, as you begin to descend, you can see the flickering lights of a patrol car.
She will park very near the patrol car and climb out to go see what is so shocking to everyone.
The alley is dark and quiet. You see two police officers that are present, both look a little shaken, and they hurry up to you. No, I've not seen anything like this, ma'am. I don't quite know what to make of it. This way, he motions down the alley and turns, and you can see his torch as he's hurrying down the alley.
So you were just on patrol or looking for something in particular out here?
Just routine patrol, ma'am.
I see.
Some of the businesses have been complaining about vandalism and thefts late at night.
I assume that's not what you are so upset by.
No, it's not. He stops short of where the alley opens up wider for a loading dock. He motions with his torch. She's around there, ma'am. And we ain't touched nothing.
Good. With now perhaps slightly more knowledge of what to expect, she will head around the corner.
Around the corner is a block of ice. It stands about 2 feet tall and 6 foot long. The water is clear, but the neon light is being distorted through it. Within is a naked girl. Her hair looks like a photograph locked in the breeze, yet frozen solidly in place. On her forearm looks to be a tattoo. It isn't easy to see, but it looks to be a barcode. We've called for a meat spinner.
That's good. When did you find her, exactly?
About 40 minutes ago now. We called it straight in.
Good. How much has the ice melted since then?
You've been able to see your breath when you breathe, and he says, I think luckily it's a cold night. I don't think the block has melted that much.
Alright, well, if we're lucky, the coroner can tell, if not time of death, time of dumping out here. Might help somewhat. Have you gotten a better look at that tattoo?
No, ma'am. It looked like some kind of barcode. That seemed kind of strange, and an early replicant?
Well, it's tricky to tell through the ice. If she was a replicant, she looks rather convincing for an early model.
I wouldn't know, ma'am.
And nothing else you've got. I know you didn't see anyone else, or you would have mentioned, but nothing else of note.
No, not at all. We haven't done a thorough search. We were told to wait, and someone in authority would arrive.
Of course. Well, seeing as how you haven't touched the body, you can do a sweep of the area for, well, anything you can find at this point. I don't know what you'd be looking for. We're gonna need to get her to the coroner, see what he can find out from that, but anything else you can find at the scene would help.
The torchlight sweeps slowly to and fro as the officers search the area. An approaching siren makes its way through the night until a larger van-like spinner banks and settles down. From it, 2 men dressed in white medical coveralls exit. They move to the rear and remove a gurney before they start to come over.
I don't know what to make of it either.
The 2 exchange glances before circling the body with professional disinterest. In the end, it takes a combined effort to get the ice block into the spinner.
Well, I guess we know it wasn't easy to leave her here.
One of the med team turns. Shall I have the coroner call you?
It doesn't much matter. I'll probably end up stopping by. There's nothing else to really begin searching with other than, well, the victim, so I was gonna head over myself.
Very good.
And are the two sort of beat cops still there?
The two officers, one at each end, have marked off the alley with police tape, and are now returning to meet up where the body was formerly laying.
Okay, she's gonna head over to where they are. Anything?
No, ma'am. Nothing that stands out.
Alright, I'll join you for a quick sweep. Then I'm headed to the morgue, but you can keep going. And she will herself have perhaps a more cursory look around, but just seeing if anything at all stands out.
Give me a roll.
Alright, so I got 3 success. Alright, so she'll turn to the two cops and say, from what I can tell, there's nothing to find here. So I'm headed to the morgue, see what the coroner has to say about any of this. You two can get back to your regular patrol unless you need to report in anything from this, but there's nothing else here.
Okay, very good. We'll call in and ask what headquarters wants us to do.
Alright. Well, good luck with that, and I'll hopefully have good luck with this. And she will get back in her spinner and head back to visit the coroner.
The room is a neon white. The metal tables are shining. A naked girl lies upon the nearest one, and Coco looks up and smiles. You see, this is why I like you. It is always something strange with you.
Is it now?
Oh yes. The others... murder.
Well, what do you call this then?
This was more than just murder. Normally it's a knife in the back, a knife in the front, pushed off a building. But this... you bring me the most interesting cases.
You say that like I do it on purpose.
I'm just happy that you are so... lucky or unlucky, depending upon how you choose to see it.
If I was lucky, I would still be asleep.
Then I will enjoy your lack of luck. And he motions to the girl. What we have here is a girl.
Yes.
Early 20s. Hair colour is brown. The green, and he points to the bright green hair, is not natural, obviously, but it is also not manufactured as you would find on a replicant. It is possible that it is over-the-counter dye. She was in reasonably good health, drank too much, but not enough to be a problem, smoked too much, but lungs still okay. I thought her out, and I can say that she was quite sexually active. There has been some damage at one point, but it is healed. Now, cause of death was not drowning. I am waiting for toxicology to get back to me. You didn't ask, but I will tell you anyway. My best guess would be poison or hypothermia. She was dead before she was put in the block. Iced before iced. Personal hygiene appears good. She is neatly groomed for after-dark activities. Her hair is trim and of even length and well-maintained. Finger and toenails are painted and very neat, none broken. Nor is there anything under them, which suggests that there was not a struggle. Now, this tattoo, and he holds up her forearm.
Mm.
A barcode. An odd thing to begin with. It is very neat. We scanned it.
I was going to ask.
And he turns around and picks up a piece of plastic. And he hands it over to you.
She will look at it. She's not one, though. Certainly not an 04.
And he shakes his head. No.
So, why the tattoo?
I don't know. Interesting, isn't it?
Fashion choice, to be sure.
But an odd one.
Hmm.
Why would a girl in her early 20s try to either convince others that she's a replicant, think that she is a replicant, or is making some statement about replicants?
Could be an activist. Could be an actor. I don't know.
I ran her image through the department. There was no identification. None at all. She's never been arrested.
That would be too easy.
Fingerprints were fine, but yeah, they're not in record.
And I'm guessing you checked her against any missing persons?
We did, yes, and nothing came up.
Of course not. Well, I do not know what to make of this at all.
I was going to run her image through the department to have the other officers look at them, but I do not wish to do so without your approval.
Approval granted. Anything that gives me a jumping off point would be appreciated.
I'll do that tonight then.
Thank you. If she died before being frozen in a block of ice, why do you think it could be hypothermia?
Wherever it was had water and a very low temperature. Was this an accident, though? I don't know at this point.
A very strange accident, if so.
Well, the accident may not have been exactly strange, depending, but if they panicked...
There's easier ways to dump a body, though. I mean, you don't know how hard it was to get that block of ice into the spinner to bring it to you. And it would have had to be a spinner dropping it off because there weren't any tracks.
Interesting.
Hmm.
And yes, I agree. There normally is easier ways that bodies are disposed of.
So either somebody thought, I don't know, they'd make some kind of a statement. They really wanted to obscure the time of death. I don't know if you can tell that when she's been frozen in a block of ice. Or whatever hypothetical accident or murder resulted in this in and of itself, and it was just easier to dump her before letting her thaw.
It certainly is elaborate.
Can you estimate a time of death at all, or...
None.
Didn't think so. I suppose if it was that long ago, we'd need to consider who has a facility in which they can store large blocks of ice with bodies in them. But... Alright. Anything else? At all?
That's all I have at the moment.
Very good. Alright, I need to go figure out how to even approach this. Good morning. I guess it's morning.
And he smiles. Yes, it has been a good morning.
Glad you're having fun.
You break the boredom.
I'd be very happy for a nice, boring day at my desk. With nothing to do. Be nice.
But hardly compelling.
I'm too tired for compelling. Hope the rest of your morning is as interesting.
So do I, but I doubt it will be.
You never know. And she will head back to her desk to start looking things up. She's not really sure what she's going to do to try and figure anything out about this.
2 days later, a slightly awkward-looking beat cop walks into the main department room. He holds his cap in his hands, and he talks to one of the lieutenants on the far side, who turns and points to you. He nods his thanks and walks over.
Hello?
Hi. I might have recognized your Jane Doe.
Really?
About a month ago I questioned her on the street. I thought she might have been a prostitute. She didn't have any ID on her, and some of the girls don't carry it, in case a creepy customer might find out their actual name or address. She said she'd been out clubbing and was going home. I noticed she had a Janelle Carter coat. It's not something many of the girls in our beat have. I mentioned it and she said she worked for her. I didn't get her name. It was informal, so I didn't have any reason to push the issue. Just made sure she was okay and sent her on her way. I didn't see the tattoo, and he's holding 2 pictures that have been printed from the police database.
Understandable if she was wearing a coat. Thank you. I will go talk to the possible employer, I suppose. Know much about this Janelle Carter?
No, ma'am. I know it's expensive. I have seen some of it in magazines and the like. Bit of a fashion house.
I see. All right, well, thank you.
And he nods.
Anything else?
No, thank you for your time. And he awkwardly walks away from you.
Goodbye. All right. Something. And she's gonna do a quick search about Janelle Carter before heading out, just to see what she's getting herself into.
A well-known brand that was top of the charts a few years ago. Models and actors wearing their garments splashed upon the fashion magazines. Today, they are not where they used to be, but they are still sought after.
And she will take with her, so we've got a photo of the tattoo, and what's the other photo? Is it just face?
Yeah, it's face.
Okay.
Head. So,
Yeah,
but it's not...
but still,
Yeah.
she's gonna bring both. And as part of her search, she will hopefully have located an address to head to.
Which is not hard to find.
Great. She will make her way there.
And in the spinner, you see a message come in. Toxicology report. Some alcohol, a sedative, possibly enough to render unconscious, not enough to kill. Water was purified.
Interesting.
Janelle Carter Fashion Studio. The studio is located halfway up a very large tower. The bottom third is low-cost housing. The next block, which is a little more than a third of the way up, is for successful businesses, and the remaining sky floors are for the wealthy away from the gutter floors. A landing area for spinners is located out front.
And she's gonna look for whatever entrance she needs to find to get to the fashion house.
The doors slide open at your approach. The lobby is cream tile with soft cream-coloured chairs and sofa. The walls are bright, and a man with a jet black hair and pencil-thin moustache walks towards you. His suit is white, and no creases are out of place. A good day. Are you in the right place?
I certainly hope so. I'm with the LAPD.
May I see your identification?
Sure. And she will pull out her badge and show it.
And he leans in and looks at it. Who is it that you're here to see? Do you have an appointment?
I do not. And, I don't really know who I'm here to see. I am here to find out if somebody worked here.
We have several businesses. Do you know which one?
I need to speak to someone at Janelle Carter.
Ah. And he points to a very comfy-looking chair, and he says, please wait here for just a moment.
Of course.
And he goes over and picks up a phone, and a few seconds later, yes, this is Conrad. The police are here to see Miss Carter. No, I do not know why. I did not ask. Yes, it is official, I believe. Very well. He comes back. If you will follow me.
Yes. And she will.
He goes over to an elevator and he types in a code and the door opens. This will take you to the 8th floor. Thank you for your patience.
You're very welcome. And she will step into the elevator.
The room you find yourself in is blazingly white. Around the walls in glass cabinets are clothing pieces that have fashion awards inside. A woman approaches. She is wearing a blue dress that matches the colour of her long hair. She has a cigarette in a polished wood holder, and a pair of circular blue-tinned glasses covers her eyes. Behind her is a younger girl, perhaps in her early 20s. She has smooth black hair, tied back into a simple ponytail. Her black skirt hugs her curves, but not so much as to give her an air of confidence, and she carries a clipboard in her hand.
I am Miss Carter. I am very busy, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. I do not have much involvement with the police. Can you tell me what all of this is about?
I suppose I can. I am looking to discover whether or not a Jane Doe we have was employed with you. An unidentified body.
I see. How would I know that?
Well, I have pictures I can show to see if you can identify her. I could give a description, or I could look through your employment records.
The girl behind steps forward and holds out her hand.
And she will hand over the tattoo first. If you could recognize this, that would be easier, I suppose. I do have another photo as well.
She holds it up.
And a barcode?
That is a tattoo.
Aye. Seems a very odd, uninspired tattoo.
I haven't exactly been able to ask her, but I've got this as well. And she will hand over the second photograph.
She holds it up in front of Miss Carter.
I do not know who she was. ghastly. I think your photographer could do much better.
She waves the picture away.
I'd have quite a large number of girls come through my business, you understand. Many do not stay. I deal directly only with the real talent. I can have Marcy here have a look for you and send along anything she finds. I assume there is somewhere that you can be reached?
Here. And she will hand a card not to Miss Carter, as she assumes she wouldn't take it anyway, but to Marcy.
Very well. Marcy, see if you can find who this girl is.
Marcy nods and turns back to you.
It will take me a little bit of time, but I will send along anything that I find out to you, if that is acceptable.
That is fine. Do you ever allow models who work with you to keep items of clothing as payment, or if she had a coat from here, would she have purchased it on her own?
Either. Occasionally we give gifts. Items at the end of the season, if someone has done well.
Would a description of her coat aid you in identifying her?
Possibly.
Very well. I can get one to you. May I have a way to contact you?
And she snaps her finger and Marcy hands over a card.
Thank you. And she makes a note to herself to go ask the cop what the coat looked like, because I can't just say, oh, yes, because I didn't ask. So I'm going to be like, it was a red coat with... Yes, normally we only make coats you can't wear. So that was a very specific collection. We were trying something new. All right, well, assuming there is nothing more she can ascertain here, she will take her leave. All right, she will head back to the precinct to... She's currently thinking either go talk with the coroner again, as he'd sent some updated information, or just, get a description of the coat. And...
A message comes in on the following day, and it has 10 pictures from a swimsuit photo shoot. Name: Gabby House, and an address. Hope this helps. Marcy.
Okay, she will message back her thanks and look up the address to see where it is.
And it is in one of the poorer parts of town. In fact, one of the poorest. The images are not pornographic in any way. They are definitely regular fashion, but all the girls are quite attractive, and you can see your Jane Doe.
She will head over to the apartment.
A sad street of dim neon and shattered dreams. Some men sit at various places along the street, their heads low and dressed in dirty leftovers. A few painted ladies stand on street corners hoping to sell their souls for the price of a bowl of noodles. The building is large and about 1/5 of the lights are on. The entrance is a simple corridor covered in dirt that leads to an elevator.
1603. Head to the elevator and enter floor 16.
Arriving at the 16th floor, the wooden accents along the walls are all chipped, and the pattern on the centre of the carpet has been worn away. The door to 1603 is closed.
Okay, she's gonna try the handle to see if it's locked.
It is locked.
Gonna try to break the door open. And at first, when the door doesn't immediately give way, her thought is, well, this was a stupid idea and I should have tried something else. But because it did give slightly, instead of trying something else, she just keeps at it and eventually is able to get the door open. Albeit with the knowledge that she's going to have quite a bruise by the next day.
The room has a musty smell. It is a simple layout, one you're familiar with. A small kitchenette which has no dirty dishes. There is a small table next to the kitchen space, a single bed which is made. The only separate room is a small bathroom. And the walls have several posters of famous models.
She's gonna go have a look to see if she can find any food and get a sense of how old it is.
There is not a lot of food in the fridge.
Okay.
Not well stocked. Most of it is of a poor variety, of poor quality, poor nutrition. Definitely stuff that you would get that typically would last with preservatives, but it has definitely gone off by now.
Okay.
There is a envelope and a note on a desk.
All right, she will open and read those.
There is no return address. The note says, "Hi Gabby, I took that job offer and have moved. Love, Amanda." Upon the envelope, written almost like a doodle, why didn't she tell me about the job or where she moved to? Xantracorps.
Okay, she's gonna take both of those, obviously in some sort of... She's not Peter Gunn, the forensic analyst, but she'll put them in an evidence bag, not just shove them in her pocket.
And there is a half-written letter to the company inquiring if she is there.
Okay.
And the name is Amanda Wilson on that she's put.
That she's asking if Amanda Wilson is there?
Yeah. It looks like she's tried to write it a couple of times.
Alright, she will see if she could find anything else.
After about 40 minutes, you're pretty sure there is no other important things.
She will take one last look around the apartment, look slightly regretfully at the now broken in door, but there was no one she could find to let her in, so she will walk back out and head down to where she left the spinner. And she's going to head back to look a few things up, see what she can find on Xantracorp and Amanda Wilson specifically. So when she returns, she's first going to look through any database basically at all for Amanda Wilson, trying to see if she's got any record, if she's a missing person, just if anything pops up on her at all.
It does not. An extended search finds she was a person.
Good.
But there was no police arrest
Okay.
or anything like that. It's more you found a social security number, that kind of.
Okay, great. And then she's gonna look up Xantracorps.
They are a tech firm.
Okay. Alright, she's gonna take out the card she got from Chanel Carter and give them a call. Assuming she'll get Marcy, who she
And
wishes
she
to
does.
speak to anyway.
Yep.
Oh. I was there. I was there a few days ago, looking for someone. I'm looking for someone else now, too. I'm curious to know if your firm ever employed an Amanda Wilson.
And you can hear a pen.
Thank you. And when was the last time Gabby worked with you?
Oh, it would have been a month ago.
As a model?
Yes. Amanda's last one would have been the same shoot as Gabby was on.
Do you have any idea why she would go to work at a tech company? If modeling was more her area of expertise.
No idea whatsoever.
All right. Well, thank you very much. If you find anything more on either of them, please let me know.
I certainly will.
Thank you. And she will hang up. Can she find a number for Xantracorp at all?
That shouldn't be hard.
Great, just gonna give them a call.
And it takes a little bit before you get their HR department.
Hello, I am an inspector with the LAPD. I am looking to inquire about whether or not you ever hired a particular person named of Amanda Wilson.
Let me check.
Would have been
And
within the
here.
last month or so.
Yes, we offered her a job not in the tech side of things, but in the PR side of things. She had accepted the position, but then we received a letter declining shortly before she was scheduled to begin. The letter was on Carter Stationery, that's why I remembered it.
I see. Did it give a reason why she was declining the position?
No, it was just very, matter of fact. I didn't keep it. It didn't seem relevant.
That's fine. And you never heard from her again?
No, not at all.
Have you ever been contacted by a Gabby House that you know of? She may have been inquiring about Amanda as well.
I don't believe so, and there's no mention in the record.
That's fine. Just checking. Alright, thank you. Okay.
The Blade Runner RPG is released by Free League Publishing, starring Emily as Philippa and Ghost as the storyteller. Music and sounds provided by Sirenscape and Epidemic Sound. You can find us at Kritfayle.com.